Hi, everyone. Hello. The podcast is back, and we somehow have 2 weeks in a row where we have 5 people. What's happening?
What's happening?
Cam is popping, is zeroing out Cherry. I'm sure that's exactly how he wanted me to word that. But
yes. I'm sure it is. I'm positive that's what he wanted.
Cam is here. I'm excited. We got some stuff to talk about. It's going to be a good time. But all right. As normal, we're going to talk about our weeks first. So, Bree, go ahead.
Finally saw Sinners yesterday, so that was cool. I went to bed early last night, and that was, like, weird. I was like, you know what? I watched the main event of NXT, which, surprisingly, I didn't crash out for. And I went to sleep, and then I worked on another draft of my screenplay and giving people notes, applying to stuff. Yeah, honestly, kind of a benign week for me.
Nice. Mike?
Yeah, so last week was a little bit crazy. One of my coworkers was out on vacation, so I had a little extra workload. And then the weekend came and 4 new releases. One of them was the re-release of Revenge of the Sith, which was awesome. Mm-hmm. And then I saw The Accountant 2, Until Dawn, which we'll talk about later.
Uh-huh.
And The Legend of Ochi. So overall, the week ended on a nice note.
Nice. Yeah,
Good note. I have just been doing a lot of role play with my friends in Discord and stuff. We're doing 3 campaigns simultaneously. We got the Dungeons and Dragons one, we got the Star Wars Edge of the Empire one, and we got the Vampire the Masquerade. So, of course, Vampire the Masquerade is my favorite.
Nice.
Couldn't tell you why. Anyway, might have to do with some goth stuff and undertones and whatnot. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a pretty cool week. It's just been, sleep deprived as per usual. But, we're making it through.
All right.
I did not go to bed until like 4 a.m. last night.
Oh, really?
Oh,
damn.
Good lord.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yikes.
It's okay.
Cameron, how about you?
Everything's been pretty good. Just been enjoying my job with the new owners, and they're pretty chill. Probably the least scary, buyout, I guess I would argue. So I still have a job, so
Nice.
I'm okay with that. And haven't really been to the theaters, but I did see Legend of Ochi, and it's like a lost Jim made in Sweden.
Interesting.
It's got a low-key charm. Probably maybe A24's only family-friendly film to play, because I don't know. I guess 5-year-olds are going to get into that Spring Breakers one, or
I don't know, man.
or you could show Moonlight to babies or something. But no, Legend of Ochi is probably the first real family film they've ever made, and it's great. Don't really call it a Wes Anderson kind of thing. It's entirely not Wes Anderson at all. But, Mike, Bree, and I recently just recorded an episode talking about Hell of a Boss and the Gaslight District, so that one's a lot of fun. So overall, It's been good.
Nice.
Don't got much to complain about.
Oh, nice. All right. I went and watched Until Dawn. We'll talk about that later. I went and saw Revenge of the Sith in one of the bigger theaters out of town. That was pretty cool to go and see that. That was my first time seeing a pre-Disney Star Wars film in theaters that I remember the whole experience. I have a vivid core memory of seeing a showing of The Empire Strikes... No, I'm saying that wrong. A New Hope, somewhere. I have the image of Leia and Vader talking in the hallway at the beginning of that film burned into my brain as a child. So there was some screening, because timelines don't line up for me to have seen that as a child. So there had to have been some extra screening of that at the theater at some point.
Maybe it's the special editions?
Maybe.
Yeah, they
I don't
put
know.
those
It
out
was
in
like when I was
theaters.
like elementary school, like young.
Yeah, because
that
I had
sounds
that
about
because
right
I think
then.
my mom took me for A New Hope, and then I think I was like 5 or whatever, and then I
Maybe.
fell asleep part of the way through. She was so excited to show me Star Wars.
Maybe.
Aw.
Could be. I literally just last night, after 91 hours, beat Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yay!
Nice.
So
All right.
that was a pretty good game. I will admit,
Yeah.
the story started, you get in the middle,
Mhm.
and then right at the very end.
Hmm.
And then it kind of, you get in one fight and it goes, see you in the DLC, and the credits hit. And it's,
Aww.
like, I mean, I still enjoyed it. Naoe and Yasuke are phenomenal once you get their actual stories. The problem with that game is you have all stories set up that's really great and intertwined. Then you hit the middle of the game where you can get 9,000 assassination targets and do them in any order you want.
Oof.
And then at the very end, you learn about the Templars and the Assassins, and then Naoe and Yasuke get very abridged versions of their very cool stories for like 6 missions, and then it's done. And it's the coolest shit in their stories in the entire game. And that was at hours 80 for me. So,
Oh gosh.
but yeah, it was a ton of fun. Once you actually get them leveled up, both of them are fantastic. And anyone that thought that Yasuke was going to be a bad character, if you actually played the game and you still say that, you're an ignorant dumbass. He's awesome. But yeah, and what else? There was something else I did and I'm blanking on it.
Have you played Claire Obscure yet?
I have not, but I plan to.
Okay, I played.
I want to
a
play
bit
that
of
game
it, I
so
think
badly.
About 6 hours of it. It's pretty good. It took me a little bit to get used to it. So
Yeah, I've heard of the legendary trash can. That's the only thing that I've heard of. There's an X button you can hit, and it's and the quote just
Yes.
says, "It's just a trash can."
it's just a trash can.
Trash
Yeah,
can.
I ran into many. It's just the trash cans throughout 6 hours.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it was great. But no, I
just
plan to. When I heard the actual twist, I am not a turn-based strategy girly, but when I heard how the turn-based works, I was kind of like, that's interesting. So I'll give it
Yeah.
a shot. And from everything I've seen from it, it looks immaculate. It looks like it's written very well. It's like made by like 30 French people.
I know that's really that's amazing.
It'll be great to
Um,
see a competent French director that doesn't force rape scenes into their games. No, I'm not talking about you, David Cage.
Hmm.
First of all, can we just talk about? You just said turn-based strategy girly. Can you make a shirt of that?
we need another shirt.
Who? I still need to make the Rogue one. But there was something my buddy Adam said, because I talked about pre-ordering a game. He's like, I'm a physical edition girly myself, and I went, I'm going to use that in the future, but with other things. And he's like, take it, it's yours. But all right, yeah. I'm not a turn-based strategy girly. If I ever like get down to the shirt I want to get. We talked about this a couple podcasts ago. I went on a family vacation to Savannah, Georgia. My Uncle Gary is just a fucking slogan machine. You just put the quarter in and hit it, and he just says the most random shit, and he'll never mean to, like, ever. So at the top of our hotel, there was a hot tub. So after the first day, every morning we would go up there, just like chill out for a half an hour, then go eat breakfast, and then get on our days, and everybody spread out to where they want to go. And then like my cousin Parker, who came in late, asked Gary, is like, oh, so how's the hot tub? He's like, oh, it's fine. It fits 4 and it fucks 8. I'm like, where? What? What? Where did that come from? So it's really my cousin Eric really badly wants to get t-shirts that says Hot Tub Club fits 4, fucks 8.
Oh
Make it a
Lord.
hat.
Like, Eric, what the fuck? He's like, I know a guy that'll do it. I'll have him for next year. Fucking hell. We gotta find a hotel that's got a hot tub on the roof then. But okay.
Oh, boy.
All right, so we have some topics in here that I don't know about, but I'm just gonna throw them in by ourselves because other people added them in. All right, buy or sell a new adaptation of Miami Vice directed by Joseph Krasinski and screenplay rewritten by Dan Gilroy. Cameron.
Well, yeah, I'm down. The guy directed Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, I'm sold. I'd buy that.
Tron Legacy.
Well,
Hey,
I forget. That's okay.
hey.
Tron is hard to make.
But
Compelling.
that was his film. I wanted his sequel and not the Jared Leto one, even though reluctantly it kind of looks good, and I'm gonna probably swallow my pride and watch it.
Same.
I'm not watching that thing.
It's the Morbius 2 we were all hoping for. Mike,
God
buy
damn
or
it.
sell?
I buy Dan Gilroy actually writing the screenplay. I think that's a solid choice if you're gonna redo Miami Vice.
Nice. Kiona.
Yeah, I'll go with the buy on that. Sounds interesting.
Nice.
Intriguing.
Well,
I
wasn't
mean-
like there a Michael Mann film adaptation of Miami Vice and stuff?
Yeah,
Yep,
I
there
think it
was
was.
one.
What did it come out in like 2006?
Yep,
I
2006.
think it was 06, yeah. Think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I mean,
didn't
it's
it
been
have
a
Colin
minute.
Farrell and somebody else?
Yeah,
And
it's
Jamie
Colin
Foxx.
Farrell.
Jamie
Jamie
Foxx.
Foxx.
And Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx, I think.
Yes.
Yep.
Jamie Foxx,
Jamie-
Colin
And I
Farrell.
remember,
Wow,
like-
that is such a mid 2000s coded cast.
It is. It's
No,
fantastic.
and I remember a critic friend I follow posted like showing my girlfriend Miami Vice, the Michael Mann version, and some people just took a really weird direction to respond to this, just being like, this guy is showing his girlfriend this movie, and it's the most offensive thing ever. And everyone online was like, what the flying hell are you talking about? Like,
What?
some people are just way too terminally online for their own good.
yeah, they are.
Very
That's
strange.
Oh,
Alright.
film Twitter just needs to disappear.
Mike, buy or sell, Steve's Lava Chicken has made history as the shortest. What am I doing? Has made his history as the shortest song to break into the Billboard Top 100.
Oh God.
Fuck is this is what I get for not looking at stuff that I haven't added before. So, what? I assume this is Minecraft.
It is.
Wasn't it that like 15-second song Jack Black sings? I haven't seen the Minecraft movie because I don't give a shit about Minecraft.
Yes, it is. It
Right, buy or
is.
sell.
It's Oscar chances.
None.
I sell it because if Peaches can't even get in, then this has no chance.
Kiona,
Could you
buy
imagine?
or sell?
Any kind of justice in the world, and Peaches didn't get in, this is not going to happen. Watch it happen right now. I guarantee it's going to happen. God.
Oh, jeez.
It will. It will. Cameron, buy or sell.
No, I'm selling that shit right now. No, no. Listen, I get it. It's a funky little tune that's just with all the visuals of just a horrifying, like cooking of chicken with lava. And no, why is that in the Billboard Top 100? I mean, I get it. It's front loaded because Minecraft.
there is no God.
Well, it's like, I get it. You got the Minecraft fan base, you got the memeage of it all, and then, of course, kids don't have good taste, so... well, they do.
Also, I
but
think it's just been a slow
sometimes.
month for memes, honestly.
It has.
Yeah.
Well, not if Kanye West will have anything to do about it. Kiona, buy or sell, Rachel Zegler
Yes,
has
sir.
been announced as the lead in this summer's limited run of Evita at the London Palladium on West
Palladium.
End. Palladium. Buy or sell. I knew what that was. Buy or sell the chances of at an
The Olivier.
Olivier campaign post Snow White.
I am the wrong person to ask this. I will just say, sure, go for it, Rachel. I love you. Go for it.
Mike.
Yeah, I buy this. I haven't actually seen any production of Evita, but
I've
It's
just
Rachel
seen the original of the Patty LuPone bootlegs.
nice.
Which, literally, that is a war crime and kind of literally one of the worst things Andrew Lloyd Webber has done that didn't get a pro shot. And then we had the kind of okay Madonna version, but there's no professionally recorded version of like that, and that's not cool.
No, the Madonna
Patty
version
LuPone's
sucks.
Well, yeah, it does. I mean, for a film, honestly, that's probably as good as it was gonna get. But I'm sorry, Madonna is not Patty fucking Lupone. I have seen her live. She is on a different level.
Nobody is Patty LuPone except Patty LuPone.
Okay. Kiona, buy or sell that the split fiction movie adaptation is officially in the works, starring Sydney Sweeney, director John Chu from Wicked, and Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick are writing the screenplay.
So first of all, I want to ask, are they all okay? Because it seems like they all have a bunch of shit going on all at once, and I'm a little concerned for their health and well-being. But anyway, they're doing fine for themselves.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I just wanted, I love Sydney Sweeney. I love Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. I think they're awesome. So yeah, I mean, I say bye to that. Sure. Why the hell not?
Has anyone else played the game or know about it?
I know about it.
I have not played it yet.
Okay.
It looks good, so that's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
And then do you think that, oh my god, do you think that what's the dude who's the producer guy? I'm blanking on his name right now. The guy who runs the studio.
Ferris.
Joseph Ferris. Do you think he can actually, if this thing goes to the Oscars and gets nominated for something, do you think he can go to the Oscars and literally say "fuck the Oscars" to the Oscars?
It would be fantastic.
That would be amazing.
I hope that happens. If it happens,
I hope this happens.
No, what I want him to do.
If we gotta have Steve's Lava Chicken, I hope that happens.
What I want him to do is then go to the Oscars and say "fuck the Game Awards."
Oh,
Yeah, but that won't be
Just to be the
half
opposite.
as funny.
Just to
That
be
won't be
the
half
opposite.
as funny.
Whoever he goes to, whatever game show, he says "fuck the other one," just to be.
So wait,
He
what's the
just goes
context
to
here?
ingrain
Does he just
himself.
does he like going to award season shows and just be like,
No,
fuck it?
Joseph Fares is the guy I look forward to just getting a live microphone at the Game Awards each year, because I legitimately never know what he's gonna say, like ever. The man is a ticking time bomb in the best way possible. They just hand him a mic and Jeff Keighley gets
it's
off
great.
camera so that he can't be seen and incriminating evidence and just lets him talk. But he's
Excellent.
awesome. He's a great dude. He just doesn't have a filter and they don't make him.
I just really do want him to go say "fuck the Oscars" to the Oscars, and like maybe just do "fuck the Game Awards," and then at the very end when he's about to be ushered off stage, and then say "fuck the Oscars."
I have a feeling he might
Why
get
not
talked to
both?
at the. I have a feeling he might get talked to at the Oscars.
Yeah, I know.
But
I mean, if they could let the
Hilarious, though.
slap happen, I'm sure they'll let someone say "fuck the Oscars."
yeah. All right.
They can let Cena walk out naked, although we couldn't see him, so it's fine.
Yes, exactly. Kiona, in I would say
Yes, sir.
possibly the fastest this has happened. Buy or sell that Claire Obscura Expedition 33 movie is being co-produced by the Sonic movie producers and is in the works currently.
Let's just do the whole IP thing. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you know what? It's very cinematic. It's very cool. All the cinematics in the game are just awesome already. So it's like, the animations and everything for the characters and stuff, very good. So, I mean, I see why they did it. I think it's kind of like crazy abstract, though. I don't know if they'll be able to really like capture that in a movie, but maybe they will. So, yeah, I cautious buy.
Cautious buy. Yeah, I would say the same thing. I just love how it's like, no one has played it long enough to know the entire thing, but we're already writing a screenplay. Like,
Sure,
what are we
let's do it.
fucking doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I think for Outrun, it only took that 40 years or whatever. So.
Yeah, Outrun's plot. Get in shared.
Because the plot was just so much more complex,
Yes. I don't know why I turned into a tracksuit mafia member, but
at the very least, Michael Bay can actually do that without screwing it up, screwing it all over and such. Because it's Outrun. You got fast cars. That's it. That you just need good chase sequences.
You just wait.
just fast cars, man. No, but the Sonic why the Sonic producers? I mean,
Hey man,
I don't know. Because I'm not the biggest fan of the Sonic films, so
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to adapt this game, even though it's like, I want to play it. When someone said it's like Lost Odyssey, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's up my alley. I definitely want to play that.
I
So,
could see that.
but yeah, no, it's becoming the new thing. It's like, since superhero films are dying and the Disney remakes are apparently halting production, we'll see. It's like Hollywood is so desperate for IP right now. They want to grab the next thing. And since video game movies are doing decently well and TV shows, they want to jump on that bandwagon and such. I mean, the Barbarian director's making the Resident Evil movie, so if it's got the right people, sure. Though I feel like Claire Obscura would work better as a show, just because it's an RPG with a lot of story.
I
It's an RPG,
definitely
but
agree on that.
for the same reason why I feel that Horizon is no longer going to be a show and going to be a movie, it's because it would be too fucking expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly.
But all right, and just to disprove Cameron's thoughts about superhero movies dying, Sergeant Rock is no longer moving forward. Joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking, but yeah, I guess Mike buy or sell that Sergeant Rock is no longer moving forward.
Darn.
I'm going to half buy and half sell this because the reporting on this story has been kind of wonky.
Back and forth, yeah, because I updated with the link earlier. It's like, oh, it's canceled, but it might be a scheduling conflict. We don't know. We just say everything's because clickbait and shit. I forget the name. Who the hell owns the reporter in Variety?
Oh, Penske Media.
Yeah, those fuckers.
Variety, man. Just getting into all sorts of trouble today.
Yes. All right. One last buy or sell. Kiona, if you saw it, buy or sell the Predators Badlands trailer.
Definite
Yes.
buy. Definite buy. Yes.
More
that looks
stylized
awesome.
animation. Yes. Mike,
Yeah.
buy or sell.
Yeah, of course I'd buy this. And something really cool they teased is one of the characters, Ella Fanning. If you take a really close look at her eyes, she has the Wayland Yutani logo.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite excited about that because if that gets us anywhere closer to a to another AVP movie,
Yep.
like, and take it seriously, I'd like that quite a bit.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, like a legit, like, you know, good AVP movie that's kind of more in tone with the earlier Predator and Alien films would be really sick.
I mean, Predator fans are eating very well. In June, you got the anthology animated film coming to Hulu, which uses stylized animation, where the Predator goes against 3 different combatants throughout history, where one of them's like samurai and ninja, one of the stories is a Viking encounter, and the other is World War II. And that looks great. And then Predator Badlands, we're finally getting a Predator movie where the Predator is technically the main character. And to all the people and the losers who are crying about how he looks and how he's like a wimp,
It's a young Predator.
yeah, no, they don't come out of the womb.
Predator.
They don't come out of the womb or egg or whatever the hell a Predator comes out of, like fully weaponized and ready to kill. That's how good storytelling works. He's weak. He's not strong. He's getting thrown out there into the wild, possibly going to get hunted down by other predators and whatever that giant thing is. Like, you gotta root for it. It's gotta work its way up the food chain. Did nobody watch Prey, where the predator in that movie basically killed a fox, like killed a snake, killed a fox, killed a bear, and then went on to humans? So,
well, also it's like, I loved Prey. I thought it was a very good movie. But everyone was like, this Predator looks weak. It's nothing like the last we just got. The last one was killed by a girl and her dog.
yeah.
Guys, what are we doing?
That movie was great, but it was outsmarted by an Indian and a border collie. Like, let's calm down. Like, remember the movies you watched before you start insulting people based on those movies?
I mean,
Don't
like,
get me
Prey
wrong.
was badass.
Loved Prey. Prey was fantastic. Should have been in the fucking theaters, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, should have.
But
No, well, Now, if you want to really smack some sense to them, tell them to rewatch The Predators, like the one that Shane Black directed.
Oh, was that the one that the actual Predator was
Predator?
in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like,
Ooh,
man, like that. Talk about a hot mess of like.
Yeah,
one
wasn't
Predator
there like an actual Predator in the cast too?
Yeah.
No, what happened was it was I think if I recall, a recon SWAT team member gets not blackmailed, blamed for the death of his team, so he's going to be the cast are a bunch of prisoners, one of them played by Keegan-Michael Key, and another guy who has, movie Tourette's, and it also has the Jacob Tremblay as, the autism as a superpower trope.
The Predator is coming to get the human superpower known as autism. I'm not making that up. I have nothing to get. That was the whole plot of the movie.
And somehow Sterling K.
that.
Brown just dies instantly in a blink and you'll miss it moment. So, man, Predator can be so much worse.
I know.
Golly, man, y'all, where are your priorities, fans? You nerds.
Right, but also the other thing, and again, why praise such a breath of fresh air. Mike knew what I was talking about, that there was an actual convicted sex offender work on that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I meant, an actual Predator.
Right. An actual Predator was in Predator.
Oh,
the Predator.
Shit, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, Shane, what the hell?
It is what it is. All right.
Yeah, that movie was a melting pot of bad decisions. Anyway.
On to our gaming news. And
Another
shirt
melting pot of bad decisions.
No, that's just my dating life. Anyway, moving on to our gaming news here.
Same, Brock. Same.
So, we got a new trailer and release date for Ghosts of Yotei, which I'm fucking pumped for. It's coming out in October, so you're gonna have a good month before I assume when GTA 5 comes out in November, and then no one gives a shit about literally anything. And it's really funny how they have the exact trailer for the plot of this game, and it's the same fucking plot as Assassin's Creed Shadows. But this one I think is gonna do better because of one reason, and I'll get to it in a little bit. All right, so 16 years before the game, outlaws killed Atsu's family. Outlaws called the Yotei 6. The event takes place in Izu in Hokkaido. They pinned her to a burning tree with her father's katana and left her to die. She survived and learned to fight. The beginning is a revenge story, and it gets into something greater. You form unlikely allies and connections, and Atsu grows a new sense of purpose. So the thing is, in Assassin's Creed Shadows, there was 12 of these fuckers.
Yeah.
And then you had to go through, each of them had independent storylines in 7 different provinces that you had to go all over to find. This one's got 6. And each has a dedicated storyline that you go into, but you could do it in whatever order you want.
Okay.
There's new weapons, there's new gameplay mechanics. Allows Atsu to see stuff from her past as different kind of things. The scenery is obviously going to be gorgeous. The literal reason why I bought the prettiest thing I've ever seen on that TV was Ghost of Tsushima. To this day, nothing has looked better, and that's why I have that OLED. There's more freedom than in Tsushima. You can choose where you go or the leads and stuff. You can hunt any of the members freely. You can track other targets and claim bounties, so you actually have to make money to go on these hunts. You're not getting help and all that. I find that you're more of an actual free roamer, which is kind of cool. You can make camp wherever you want. You don't need to have a dedicated hub to do whatever. Okay. And you seek out weapon senseis instead of legends teachers. So you learn these moves from actual dedicated teachers.
Okay.
And unexpected dangers and all this other stuff. One thing that I see that I think is going to make this really interesting and something that is going to make it more, what I want to say, engaging than what Shadows was, and I like Shadows. In the trailers, you see that Atsu uses a tempo, an odachi, a kasurigama, dual katanas, a regular katana, and I want to believe there was something else. Then you finally saw the reveal trailer for the Yotei 6, and their weapons are a Teppo, a dual katana, a Kasurigama, an Odachi, and something else. What I think is going to happen, and the reason why you can go after them in what order you want, is they're going to Mega Man it.
That
you
makes
go
sense.
and kill that Yotei 6 member, you can then take that weapon and go after the other ones using that weapon.
Oh, nice.
Which, if it is, that's going to be fucking awesome.
That's cool. I like that.
Because, like, in Tsushima, I got more weapon variety and skill usage out of a katana with Jin than I did out of the, like, 7 total weapons I could get in Assassin's Creed Shadows. And that was when I was halfway through the game, because they dedicated so much to making it all. If they could do that much dedication to, like, 6 weapons, it'd be freaking nuts. All right, they had a little bit to say about it afterwards. In Ghost of Yotei, we built upon and evolved the way you explore the open world, offering more freedom and variety than in Tsushima. This is the most open game we've ever made. One of the greatest joys is just getting lost. You let your curiosity guide you through the landscape. We view this as the holy moment at which we want to uplift for players so that they can feel very present inside of Hokkaido, or Izo, as it was called back when the game takes place. Izo is a character in itself, and it is filled with hidden secrets and an anthology of stories. I really hope they take a deep sense of immersion of getting lost in the landscape, looking out on horizons, seeing something that they're interested in and riding towards it. As you trek across the open world, you'll see unexpected dangers, peaceful reprieves, including some returning activities from Tsushima because, helping in game costs. You'll be able to build a campfire anywhere in the open world, the rest under the stars. You'll have the freedom to explore Izo however you decide to, and we can't wait to show more. What was the other thing? That's what it was. I had the Mega Man thing up in there. I don't know who else is all going to play it, but Kiona, are you pretty pumped for Shadow? Oh, Cam too. Cam, are you pretty pumped?
Yeah, it certainly looks good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
We finally got to hear some of Erica's voice acting in this.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Holy shit.
They're great, so.
And the look in the graphics of when you get to see the 6 and, like, their freaking raggedy ass cloths and, like, the oils and shit stained in them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that game's gonna look so good.
It's gonna look great, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna look so good.
I mean, I will say, it will become a 0 out of 10 if I cannot pet something in that game. So
I'm telling you right now, they are going to bring back those what were they called? The Kitsune shrines. The Kitsune shrines where you could get follow the foxes and they jump like little idiots when you finally find the shrine. Oh, it's fantastic. Also, you're gonna be able to pet things quite a lot because from the looks of it, you're gonna have a fucking wolf companion the entire time. Which is sick as fuck. What you see is the wolf kind of like represents the family because how they can tell that that's the girl they pinned down is the wolf. Like, I want to say, is it the scabbard, the little like handguard is a wolf, and it kind of feels like that thing is basically following you as a representation of her dad looking over her as you're going through all this. I cannot wait to play this game. Like, I thought I was just gonna like Tsushima when that game came out. It is in like my top 5 of favorite games of all time.
Yep.
It is the game that made Ubisoft go, oh wait, maybe people really do want Assassin's Creed in Japan. So much so that 90% of the side activities in Tsushima are in Shadows or just Ghost of Tsushima copies.
Yep.
But
well, if you're gonna learn from the best.
Absolutely. Now, going on to a game I'm excited about, to a game I would have been excited about. Huge report. Unannounced Blade Runner video game in development at Supermassive Games has reportedly been canceled. The title, Blade Runner, Time to Live, third-person adventure, character focused, cinematic and compelling story, So Lang vintage model Nexus 6, incomplexability, alive beyond limited lifespan, physiological Blade Runner themes, kinetic action adventure gameplay set in 2065, New Zurich Undercity, eerie remnants of a forgotten world. You are the only Blade Runner. About 10 to 12 hours in length. Stealth, combat, exploration, upgrade skills, use past memories within the game text. So it put like going through the what the hell is that test again?
Oh, the Voight-Kampff or
Voight-Kampff test.
Kampff? Yeah.
Yeah,
Voight-Kampff.
I think you used that a couple of times. Use it to solve investigations, dramatic character interactions, authentic, punchy, poignant dialogue.
Oh, this sounds good.
It does. It does. Pre-production began in 2024, meant to end in September 2024, meant to end in March 2025. Prototyping was to end in September of 2025 and meant for a September 2027 launch on all everything. The budget was $45 million and $9 million for external mocap, described as rather impressive. And Alcon Entertainment was the reason for the cancellation. I meant to look this up and I forgot.
So the production company of
Yeah.
films?
Yeah, I'm
Did
going to
they
need
just say
context.
that-
I don't follow gaming news as much anymore. Is this company
So licensing issue?
I'm gonna guess.
like? Is it dead or is it like?
It's been canceled.
No, I mean like, is like the last Alcon Entertainment was like, what's the deal with them?
I'm going to assume that they're the company that owns the. Yeah, they own the
They own the
film
rights.
to Blade
Yeah.
Runner.
So maybe they were like,
They-
nah,
Oh
we
god,
don't
so
want
this is a
Not
Friday the
happening.
13th thing situation. Oh god, not again.
It very well could be, but that
Yeah.
sucks.
Well, that sucks because it was like a mid-budget game
really
that was
sucks.
good.
Yeah, and Supermassive doing like an adventure game,
Yeah, that would have been interesting, honestly.
and it would have
I could
looked
see that.
fucking amazing because their graphics and mocap are off the
And,
charts.
Yeah,
and,
they're-
and it's
yeah.
a shame because for once it wasn't the devs' fault.
Yeah,
No.
when they just come by and go, no, that thing that would have been really cool, get rid of it.
Ugh.
And
What?
just wait and just watch in like a year or so, we'll get a really shitty $200 million first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And no, it'll be what are those? They made it with Predator. They made it with Friday the 13th.
Oh, like asymmetric multiplayer.
Yeah, there'll be something
Oh,
like that, but with an
God.
android, and you
Be
have to
like
figure
Dead
out
by
who's the
Daylight.
android.
Bleh.
Yes. yeah. You'll have to figure out who's the android. Bleh. You'll all be in a room taking the test and be like, "Oh, it's him! He'll kill us!" I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But all right, I am out of my depth in the next chunk of conversation we're gonna have. So Cameron and Mike, I'm gonna throw this over to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty,
I'm going to go
the-
get something to drink quick, so I will be right back.
The whole reason I am here is to talk about the Annecy International Film Festival has finally revealed its lineup. For those that are not aware, imagine CinemaCon, Comic-Con, or any big nerdy event like D23 or whatever, but for the world of animation. I used to call it the E3 of animation, but since E3 is no longer a thing, RIP,
Yep.
it's basically that. Everyone comes to France, or, as the Coneheads say, France, and it's a film festival, like the Cannes Film Festival, which is happening, I think, next month, like literally, since it's the last day of April, as of recording this.
Yep.
And it's where everyone from around the world brings them their movies, their shows, what they're working on. It's both a festival and a marketplace. And it's an area where, for example, there's a category called work in progress where teams can come in and say like, hey, this is what we're working on. This is what we have so far. Or it's like, it's in production, or sometimes they do these to, pitch to potential investors, because animation doesn't work in the way that US animation does, where studios are greenlighting nonsense left and right. Here, a lot of the cool foreign animated films that you see get nominated for the Oscars from time to time have to go through so many production companies, so many art grants, so many, it's a lot. It's way too much. That's why you see so many production logos in front of foreign animated films from mostly Europe, where it's like that Family Guy joke with the production logos in front of the movie theater. It's that kind of thing. Because again,
Hello,
animation
Joe
is
Springer.
timely and costly, and they're not dropping $200 million at once for one movie. So a lot of these cost like literally at the most expensive $10 million. And they're frankly better than most of what we put out here in the States sometimes, even though, animation is tough right now, y'all. So for your guide, like as your guide, we're going to just go through these quickly. Like there's the official selection where these are the 10 to 11, sometimes 12 films that will be competing for the main awards. And these can range from films coming from France, Germany, Italy, Japan, China, South Korea sometimes. And this is like the one you want to focus on. It's like how people go to the Cannes Film Festival, they give the awards out, and then those are pretty much like the front runners of where we go from now to the Telluride, to Toronto, to Venice, to the Academy Awards. Like, for example, if you want my opinion on what to look out for, there is a new movie called A Magnificent Life, which is by, let me get his name up, Sylvain Chomet. He is the Oscar darling director who did the Oscar-nominated The Triplets of Belleville and The Illusionist, both one from 2003 and the other in 2010. And he's like that's the one you gotta watch out for. That's the one that you might want to pay attention to. But because there's just a lot of amazing projects in here. Like, for example, Arco, which is a animated film from France, is basically the pitch is, what if the rainbows you saw in the sky were basically the jet trails of people traveling from the future? And I do have a trailer for it. Like, this was announced like maybe 3 or 4 years ago or so. It's like stuff like that. Or you go to Studio 4C, who, if you're an anime fan, they did like so much. Children of the Sea.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, no, they did the Berserk Golden Egg arcs. And like they're known for having like really cool animated features. They did like some of the Batman Arkham Knight sequences and the Animatrix. Like they're very distinct. If you saw some of their footage,
man, it's been a minute since I've heard Animatrix said.
Yeah. They've been around like for decades. They're always doing something very cool. Like they have 2 films this year. One's called Chow, which is about a man falling in love with a mermaid, but it's not like The Little Mermaid, like half human, half fish. It's a full-on fish.
Basically a giant fish.
Basically.
Yeah, it's a fish. But the animation of it looks wunderbar. Like, just amazing. It's so visually distinct. And it's just, and they also have another film playing at the theater during the midnight screening called All You Need Is Kill. And if that sounds familiar, that's the real name of
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're making a film adaptation of the manga that inspired Edge of Tomorrow. And
this looks much cooler.
It's one of those it's funny because so many people are like, I don't think Studio 4C has ever made a drab looking movie, and it's like, I don't think they know how to. They
really don't.
Their vibrant visual color palette is so bonkers. Apparently their films don't do well financially, so I'm always dreading the moment where they have to shut their doors, but luckily that hasn't happened for them. So if you want to check out some of their films, I think Children of the Sea is streaming right now. You will be blown away about what that studio can do. Or like if you're a fan of like Long Way North or 2021's Calamity, the same studio is putting out a film called Little Amelie or The Character of Rain. It has, I think, a trailer out, but I couldn't find it. Sometimes that's a problem with waiting for stuff for Annecy. There's not a whole lot of trailers to go through and such until maybe like after Annecy, so this is like you'll see a lot of these in like June or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if like Mike would know about this because we watched the whole series and the movie. The creators of Odd Taxi have a movie coming out in competition here called The Last Blossom, which is about a... Let me read the description here. Autumn 2023, Akutsu, an elderly inmate serving life in prison, is on the verge of a lonely death in his single cell. A talking Holsinka flower says to him, "What a rotten life you've had." Akutsu starts reflecting on his past, summer 1986. Akutsu is living with Nana and her son Kensuke in a shabby apartment with a garden full of Hosenkas. It's a tale of a one-night victorious comeback by a dying Yakuza and his family story told by a flower that blooms in prison. If you've seen Odd Taxi, which is basically anime Fargo, or it's like a Coen Brothers style, like murder mystery thriller, but with talking animals. So put Fargo and Animal Crossing in the same bin.
That I wanna. That's a throw pillow saying put Animal Crossing in Fargo.
We might have to do a fresh takes about it. It's a wonderful show. I don't think anyone watched it, so it was just like, even some anime creators were like, "Why aren't you watching Odd Taxi, man? Come on!"
Fargo Crossing. I want that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. So the other categories are like Contra Chomp, which they used to have an out of competition section, but they morphed it into the Contra Champ section, which is where like animated films are more experimental and ambitious. They try out new art styles. They're a little weirder. They're not as family friendly or audience friendly. This is where a lot of the more like artful indie stuff shows up. But that doesn't mean like they're bad movies. Like Endless Cookie is like a weird podcast documentary that's fully animated about like the two brothers and such. It's really cool. It has a weird indie game art style to it. And it's just like it just shows how vibrant animation can be, because a lot of people, like, especially with Mike and I, and Bree, you've also seen this also, like, as well, where animation fans are just like, there's just nothing good coming out. There's nothing getting made that's creative or ambitious. And it's just like, you guys gotta get out of
outside of America.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing.
I gotta use subtitles, and I don't want to do that.
That's the sad truth of it all, really. They just don't want to read the subtitles, even though some of these movies are going to be 100 times better. Like, I am hoping for the best for, like, Zootopia 2 and Elio and the Bad Guys 2, but I would not be shocked if the Disney and DreamWorks and Pixar did not make it into my top 10 this year. That happens quite frequently when you actually expand your horizon and what have you and such. So, like, if you want to see some of this stuff, like, some of these things are weird. Like, Jinsei is from Japan, and you think it's going to be like, oh, it's like an anime thing. No, it's indie even for, like, Japan. It's really cool. There's like, Australia's kind of coming out of the woodwork to put out some things like lesbian space princess.
That's
looks like an adult
kind of movie description.
There you go. That's what we need.
It's like an Adult Swim project actually got a feature-length budget, so it looks bonkers. And there's just a lot of cool stuff. If you see Memory Hotel, that's stop motion. The Great History of Western Philosophy is a papercraft stop motion film. It's like the cool stuff is happening around the world, but we do not have access to it, which is deeply frustrating, because I know there are audience and animation fans who would love this shit, but they don't, bring it over. So, but if you want to be a little more normal, the out of competition stuff that's happening, they have screening events, midnight screenings, and Annecy Presents. So this is where like a lot of the more bigger productions come into play. There's like Andy Serkis's adaptation of Animal Farm is coming out, which recently had like a huge freaking voice cast. Like Seth Rogen's going to be in it, so I'm very curious to see how this looks in motion. Gendy Tartakovsky's finally getting his 2D feature out in the world because of Netflix called Fixed, which is about a dog having one last adventure before he gets neutered.
I like that.
And it's a fully adult animated feature, but will not have any of the trappings that come with the unfortunate reality of adult animation here in the States. And plus, it's Gendy freaking Tartakovsky, the guy who made Primal, Samurai Jack, and Symbionic Titan and Dexter's Lab. Yeah, I'm gonna freaking want to see that. That's like a buy for me.
Oh yeah.
Or, you know, the RoboCop saying, "I'd buy that for $1."
I'd buy that for $1.
There's also like Netflix is showing off their stuff here. There's a screening of The Bad Guys 2, Elio, along with a few other things Pixar is showing off. Disney's going to show off Zootopia 2, which is one of the few things I have going for them right now, which I'm so burned by Disney right now. I think I've told this before. Like, Wish was the first time I went to a movie theater. I left. I got pissed off so bad about how much I didn't like the movie. Bought a second ticket and went to see Godzilla -1 afterwards. And then felt like, okay, humanity is okay. We're going to be okay. I mean, I don't do that because tickets prices suck. But I was going to do that. I was so mad. And then Moana 2 was just not good. Mostly because of production stuff, but just no.
Wait, you're gonna have the live action soon, and that'll be so much better.
I will punch John. I was about to say John Cena. Dwayne Johnson.
Punch the right one.
Speaking of which, did you see that A24 trailer with him playing
Smash
UFC?
Machine.
Yeah, he's like, Dwayne actually trying arc is starting. Because it's by the same director of Uncut Gems.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be weird. No, it's like,
it looks weird.
I mean, I'm just saying this like as a side tangent. You can see the point where Dwayne Johnson started to suck as a movie star right after Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. It's 2017, and then 2018 comes around. And that's when he starts kind of sucking as an actor.
You mean when he realized he didn't have to try anymore?
Yeah, which sucks.
But like he went the Adam Sandler route for a while.
It's just constantly like, I can't be hurt. I'm the main good guy. I gotta be tough. I'm going to freaking play that Red One character as serious as a heart attack. Even though that movie should be campy as hell.
Yep.
Because, like, I don't know how many of y'all saw Red One, but
I did.
I did see it, yeah.
And then, of course, you know, Black Adam was supposed to be the big change to the DC cinematic universe. Yeah, it changed so much.
The hierarchy of power is about to change, Cameron.
Oh, it changed, all right.
And it changed by him being fired.
Oh, Lord. Dwayne.
Well, he's nothing if not prophetic.
He's a memeable motherfucker, so...
That's the word I was going to use.
But,
or pathetic.
like, one of the things that we should really be excited for, or I hope more people get excited for, is in the Annecy Presents section, where 100 Meters is playing. This one is one of the more recent G-Kids acquisitions, and it's by the director of... Let's see. It's the director of Ongaku R Sound, which was from 2020, which is an amazing movie. That's a great idea for a fresh takes, by the way. Ongaku R Sound, I think you would love it, Brock. Oh. And it's the writer and team behind One Punch Man Season 1.
Ooh.
And if you've seen Orb on Netflix, which is that
one.
Orb is the philosophical like science anime, and it's based off of like the 100 meters is based off of that creator's other work.
Okay.
And I don't think I've ever been so hyper obsessed with a trailer than the 100 meters trailer. Just how it captures, because it's about marathon running. And let's see here. Togashi is born to run. As a kid, he is naturally gifted and effortlessly wins every 100-meter race. But in 6th grade, he meets Komiya, a transfer student who is full of determination but lacks technique. In teaching him, Togashi gives Komiya a new purpose, to win no matter what. The years pass, Togashi and Komiya meet again as rivals on the track and will reveal their true selves. And it's a dynamite trailer. It's funny because the trailer came out the same day G-Kids said, oh, hey, we're buying that shit, so...
Nice.
And, like, G-Kids is that distributor that y'all need to pay attention to if you want to get your animation fix that's not just from the US. And they're also dipping into anime, also because G-Kids are the ones who bought the rights to Evangelion, and then...
They're the reason this impossibility is sitting on my shelf right now.
Exactly. And of course, they're the ones who are bringing over Dandadan and what have you. So can't wait to get that one on my shelf. So, and like I said, the midnight screening, this is the one where, all your gory and adult tinged animated features are coming out. Like I said, all you need is kill, where, yeah, man, I can't wait to see that. I'm just waiting for G-Kids to drop the announcement to be like we're buying this shit. So, and I mean, G-Kids, well, it's also because Toho bought them out. So I'm sure, and Toho, if they're the Godzilla and the Kurosawa production company, or the ones who made Kurosawa's famous iconic samurai movies and such, and the Godzilla studio as well, but still. But they've been having they're putting their hands in all the anime studios right now. They have one in Science Saru, they have one in Chizu, and Comics Media and Studio Ghibli. So anything that Toho has a hand on will probably get brought over here. So basically that's it for a majority of the festival stuff. But if you are even more curious about what's coming out, they have work in progress sections where people are coming out with movies that are in production, looking for funding, or are in and they're just saying hey, this is about to come out soon, but we want to give you a pre-showing of it. They have Carmen, which is by the guy who did The Girl Without Hands and Chicken for Linda. His visual style is just wonderful. Masaki Iwasa, who did Mind Game, Devilman Crybaby, Japan Sinks 2020, Lu Over the Wall, Inuo, an amazing director who I thought, retired after 2022. He was I'm done. I'm leaving Science Saru. They're going to do whatever the hell they want. But then he's hey, I'm coming out with a new movie and a new studio. So, it's always, it's a Miyazaki thing. He says, I'm going to retire, I'm going to take a break for a few years, and then I'm going to make another groundbreaking studio.
Miyazaki, the Terry Funk of anime.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Put that on a t-shirt.
There you go.
Oh, gosh.
Just
Oddly
made him
enough,
look like a Terry Funk costume and everything.
The bandana and a barbed wire wrapped forearm. Someone fucking draw that. I need to see it now.
All right.
No, but yeah, for some reason WB is going to show off the Cat in the Hat movie, which is going to have Bill Hader in a film role that we haven't seen him in years. A lot of cool things. So, The Devil's Vein is from a director called from Chile and Colombia. There's a cool new Japanese movie coming out from the creator of In This Corner of the World. There's so much cool stuff. And I don't know, man. It's like, I love talking about this stuff, but it's becoming harder and harder to try to tell animation fans to like broaden their horizon without coming off like a jackass to them. So,
I mean, let's be real here. Animation fans and gamers kind of, like, if you're looking at the Venn diagram, there's certainly a number of circles that are crossing.
Pretty much.
yeah.
None of those circles touch grass.
No. Oh, gosh.
It's right over there, but the circle doesn't quite touch it most of the time.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Ooh.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to come in and talk about this because it's one of my favorite things to look out for, and I tried my best to get people hyped up or excited or more aware of this stuff. Maybe more film-centric people will care about this, but it's like what I look forward to because whatever does well here is going to be going to Animation as Film, which is in LA, and then I'll be going to that, and then I'll be seeing like, oh yeah, well, like Flow and Memoir of a Snail, two of the films that were nominated for Best Animated Feature this year, started their run at Annecy and were winning shit left and right. While Inside Out 2 won jack shit. So
I loved Flow, by the way. Mike told me to watch that before we did like the Oscar preview podcast, and I fell in love with that movie. I thought it was great.
Like,
there's a Flow was like my top 10 last year too.
Oh yeah.
It's in my top 11. It didn't quite reach my top 10, but mostly because the stuff that came out from 2023 finally got a release in 2024, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of ride or die Sirocco and the Kingdom of the Wind and stuff like that. Like, I'm here to basically say, like, hopefully this all, like, seeing any of these trailers or some of these projects get y'all to, like, get out there and enjoy the world of animation. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. There's always cool stuff happening, no matter how many times Hollywood is trying to shove AI down our throats. So just keep that fire of animation alive.
Yeah. And hopefully they will go the way of NFTs, and everyone will be like, what NFT? What AI? What are you talking about? That was never a thing.
Did you hear about that thing with the NFTs?
Oh, yes, I did.
Millions of dollars spent on crappy, like, ape NFT art is now lost media. People who spent, again, millions on crappy art that they cannot hold or own can no longer enjoy that stuff because it is off the internet. It's off the face of the earth.
Yeah, link rot is very real.
Like, people say, like, people worried, like, film fans worry about DVD rot. It's like, no, man, this thing's way more brutal and hilarious.
Yeah.
At least DVD rot is, like, after 2 decades, which is like, okay, like, if there's an easily available upgraded version, then that's on you. I mean, that's like VHS is, wearing out. Like, like, if you have a film you really like, you gotta have, like, at least 1 or 2 backup copies.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I hope this was, like, fun for y'all to see or to check out and such.
Oh,
so.
Definitely, yeah. I enjoyed watching all the trailers and everything, man. That's always cool. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all looked great, by the way. Very interesting styles and stuff, very diverse. I really liked it.
I mean, like, people rightfully made a big deal about the Spider-Verse art style and stuff, but the rest of the world was just like, we've been doing that for, like, decades, y'all. Like,
but it didn't have Spider-Man.
Oh gosh, I mean, like,
I hate how true that is.
It is, unfortunately.
I mean, like, if you really want to be pedantic about the whole painted CGI look, go to 2011, watch the painting, and you will see that it kind of got there first. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That sounds like such a hipster thing to say, but it is like, Oh yeah, no. This came out a little bit before Spider-Verse, and they were kind of doing that beforehand.
or even if you want, like, stylized, like, animation that was more mainstream, like Paperman in 2012 and stuff like Feast, like, they were, like, doing that. Like, a lot of the tech of, like, Spider-Verse with, like, remembering the geometry for, like, the line art, like, that was stuff that Paperman was doing back then. It just Spider-Verse figured out how to do it efficiently and on budget.
But those didn't have
we'll see,
a
because
wall of a character as Wilson Fisk. Didn't have a wall with a face.
Literal.
Okay.
Oh gosh. But yeah, so hopefully, like, a lot of these will come stateside. For some reason, it's been a little tougher right now to get Chinese animated films over here.
I wonder why.
Oh god. Let's not talk about it. But yeah, I mean, if y'all have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Like, either here before I head out or afterwards. So
I don't have
Annecy
any
and such,
personally. If any of you guys have anything.
The only really questions that I have is just when we will get any of these in the US. Aside from the G Kids releases, because those ones are pretty timely. I just want more distributors like G Kids to snatch up some of these titles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there are distributors out there who are doing it, and sometimes they just have to be picked up by Netflix because Netflix are the only ones throwing around the money to do so. So it's finicky. Distribution is finicky right now. So, but that's really all I have to say for this. So yeah, no, thank you.
You're welcome. Absolutely. It's good to have you on.
Yeah.
All right. As far as, are you staying on, or do you remember you said you had to go?
I think I'm going to head out because I did not watch Until Dawn. I played the heck out of it, but I know the movie's not really following the game. So,
okay. All right.
And I'm a little behind on The Last of Us. I just kind of started season 1, so.
All right. Well, if you want to give all your stuff before you head on out of here, before everybody can find you.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
so you can find me on Blue Sky at camsiview.biz. You used to find me on the other site, but let's just say we parted ways. And I have my own
You're
website
saying that
called
other social media platform is your ex.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. That should be a shirt and a hat.
Yes, it should.
So,
yes, it should.
I have my own website called camsiview.biz where I review animated films and shows from around the world called The Other Side of Animation. I am starting to try to work out a schedule where I can post more there. I've just also been busy because I'm also a writer and contributor to Media Magpies, your new one-stop shop for like film, TV, and media, pop culture discourse and discussions. I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/camsiview. That's where you can find me. Oh, and also, I'll obviously be the co-host of Renegade Animation on renegadepopculture.com. So Mike and I are slowly going to get ready to do our next episode. So
Awesome.
peace out,
That's
y'all.
great.
It was good
Hey,
seeing you,
bye,
Cam.
Cameron.
Bye-bye. Y'all have
Good
fun.
to co-host with you again, Cam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a good one.
Let's see.
There
That
we
is
go.
our animation guru.
Yes, Cam's a good dude. We
Yeah.
have an entire fresh takes of him with Neon Genesis. You want to go with some of the weirdest shit I've ever had to
Ooh,
say about a
nice.
show? Go back to
Oh,
that.
yes.
All right,
Nice. Do that.
So,
Do that. Yeah.
all right. Now, talking about Silent Hill. I mean, Until Dawn. So
Mhm.
who in here has all played it and or knows what the game is about?
I have not played
kind of
it, but I think you and I are the only ones who've seen the
didn't play
movie.
Okay, so I'm going to give you what the game is about, and then I'll tell you what the movie's about, and we'll talk. So, in the game, all these kids are staying at Blackwood Pines, this giant, huge house owned by the Washington family that you have to get to by like a ski lift car. It's on the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
And during this character Mike is trying to get with this girl Hannah, who's a set of twins, Hannah and Beth, and then it's all kind of a prank to be like, ha ha, we saw you making out, woo, we videotaped you, blah blah blah. It's teenagers being stupid. But then like they find out as they're like hiding in the room, and like Beth and Josh are like passed out, or Josh is passed out, and then Beth tries to find where Hannah is, and she finds out that all the rest of their friends are pranking her. Hannah gets really upset about it and then runs out. And then yeah, it's just a prank, hand. Like to quote Pat from Super Best Friends, he's like, no, a prank is like, oh, you shoved the whole TV up their butt. Not like you were trying to videotape them having sex. But anyways, so they go running. Jesus. Like Hannah gets really upset and runs clean out of the cabin, and Beth chases after her. And they go running off until they get to this corner, and they're getting chased by something, but you don't see what it is. And you assume you know what it is by the end, because there's this dude with a flamethrower on his back, just blowing at the walkway that they're at. So you assume it's this guy. And he goes down to try and reach her, and then Hannah and Beth fall off a cliff and die falling into a cave. Like, their backs break and they're just gone. So then, I don't remember how many years later, but it's a couple of years later on the anniversary of this, all the people that survived go up there to have a sex like rock stars, which Josh says in the whatever. They're basically having a party to like celebrate the memories of them, so they go back up to Blackwood Pines. And then during all of this, there is all the main people in the main cabin, and then you have Mike and Jessica, who are just, holy shit, do they want to have sex? That's just the beginning part of this game. My God, do they want to have sex in that cabin? So they go off to a guest cabin that for some odd reason is roughly 98 miles from the main cabin. It takes you forever to fucking get there. And they're being chased by something. And the thing to remember here is they're being chased by something, but inside the main cabin, there is this weird fucking thing trying to find them, but there's also, it looks like a spiritual ghost is trying to find them. There's fucking notes from a serial killer in there. There's this guy with this weird fucking mask that's trying to get them. It looks like 9 different things are trying to kill them all at once. What you find out is that the Washington's dad used to be like a guy who worked in the movie industry and had all these fucking props and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And halfway through it, you get captured, and they think that the main character Josh gets killed, because there's a very convincing scene where you have to choose between 2 characters, and like his guts get spilled out by a saw in a barn. But realistically, he faked it, and he's been behind the scenes in the cabin through like cameras and using movie effects, freaking people out, and videotaping it to put it online for raw reactions, bruh. And then Mike finally gets back to the cabin after Jessica gets pulled by her hair through a window about this big in the door of their cabin and gets wrenched through like a sawmill and thinks she's dead because some creature grabbed her, quite clearly. So then Mike gets back and like fucking cold clocks Josh, thinking that he killed Beth. When Josh is like, no, this is a prank. He's like, well, something just fucking killed Jessica. You come to find out that on this mountain, there's fucking Wendigos. It was not in any of the trailers, not anything. And the guy who had the flamethrower at the beginning was genuinely trying to help Hannah and Beth. But, like, they were scared because fucking guy with the flamethrower. And then eventually it becomes this, y'all are trying to survive until dawn. Bleh. And, like, you handcuff Josh because he's gone fucking nuts and he was seeing the psychiatrist. And you have these, like, checkups in the game where you're essentially, where you have essentially these moments where you're, like, picking what gross shit you're gonna see, where you're in the office with Dr. Hill, which is, Peter Stormare, thank you. I was going to say Skarsgård. I was going to be completely wrong. But, like, you never see him in the game. He's just in this mental thought process, like, brain land that you visit in between, like, nights. And then the big thing is you trying to survive until dawn, and there's no supernatural, there's no nothing. It's just you're trying to fucking survive when Wendigos are there. And what the thing is that, like in most of the old Indian folklore, is that if you like succumb to this, like, and there was a mining disaster where people got trapped, and if you eat the human flesh and you like succumb to it, after a while you turn into these creatures called Wendigos, where you basically like lose your humanity after consuming human flesh. And there's all of this. Ghost Pringle, you're gonna have to tell me did I save everyone? I lost one person my first time around. Pringle, you're gonna have to tell me what you think the best part is. When people made them shoot Emily in the face, was that what it was? But what? Oh yeah. Eventually, Hannah becomes one of the Wendigos because she eats her sister Beth, and you can tell because she's got like the tattoo. And like part of the way through, one of the things that the Wendigos can find Josh and like bring her through. And they, in the new game, they make it so that everyone can survive, including Josh, and there's another alternate ending. But the big thing is that kids on cabin try to survive night, Wendigos attacking them. Until Dawn movie, none of these guys exist.
Yeah, this is a completely new set of characters. Except for Dr. Hill.
Except for Dr. Hill, but then later on, you see a file on Dr. Hill's desk that says Joshua Washington. So, like, the character is in there, and then later on, you see a SUV driving up to a snowy cabin in the end credits of the film. So it's like, whoa, we might make the actual one.
So it's a prequel.
Ish.
So, in the movie, they kind of do the plot, but not really, because one of the sisters goes to this place because she's sick of the small town they live in, and she gets kind of caught in this town and goes to go visit this thing, and she goes missing. And then they drive up to this gas station, and Peter Stormare's character, which I don't know what they call him at that point because they don't call him Dr. Hill, is like, yeah, people go missing. Don't go to blank and blank because that would be bad, and that's where the movie happens.
So he basically does Cabin in the Woods gas station guy.
Basically, pretty much. And then they go to this place, and like it's raining the entire time, and they get lost until they get there. So like the fog and fucking Silent Hill. And then they get to this house and then randomly there's a dome around it where the rain is not happening just at this house. Because that's not a red flag.
No.
And then it's just a blank house, and then nothing else is around it. And they get killed in the first night by the guy with like the mask that like Josh dresses up as. And then they all wake back up and they think, what the fuck? We just died. And there's this guest book that your name is written in a bunch of times. It gets worse and worse. And there's a fucking sundial clock thing on the wall. And what it turns into is every night you're needing to survive until dawn. And if you do, you can make it out. But they don't know what's going on or how these things are feeding into it. And there's all these missing posters, but no names. And it's all these people that like, and it's their sister that's in there. So then what it turns into is basically they're learning things about how you either die through the night or you live through the night or you become part of it. And always one person has to die. And then Dr. Hill starts coming out in the middle of it to tell them like, oh, you're getting so close and all this. And what it turns out to be is basically one of the people that goes into, might you remember what the fuck that house or town was called? Because it's not Blackwood Pines.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna, Glore Valley.
Glore Valley. So you go to this house that's basically like a historical, really old school style house. Like there's at a point where you find a witch that makes you like possessed by a spirit and kills people. That has the regular killer. It has water that if you drink it, parasites get in you and explode. I'm not fucking joking. The Wendigos are in it, but not for very long. And then eventually it's one of you goes in there and it's the main person. Your brain basically comes up with what you see. So like your fears are externalized. What does that sound like? Anyway.
Gee,
I can't imagine. But then
Quiet
eventually...
Mountain.
A quiet mountain, a silent valley. But so then eventually throughout this, you start finding out more stuff, and like Dr. Hill has like all these name tags of like all these places, and like the sanatorium's in there. They had the mining accident, but what's going on is that the human flesh eating isn't what turns you into a Wendigo. It's your human fear that eventually drives you and turns you into this thing because of what like supernatural whatever is in the thing. And like you remember there's a video in it where they like show you eventually turning into a Wendigo after you ate human flesh.
Oh yeah,
and that's there. I tell you what. But and then like eventually like the victims of this, if they don't die or make it, he like turns them into Wendigos, and Wendigos are part of what like travel around. And eventually it's all them trying to survive through the night, which they get pissy at each other and kill each other at random moments just to like, because they know they have to reset the night. There is a lot of funny moments with that. But then eventually it gets down, and you get down in the main room where he's watching you from, which you have to like go into the sanatorium and find him. And eventually he explains that like what all the killers mean and all this, and why it like works on her, and how she's it's a different version of Cabin in the Woods. Not really, because Cabin in the Woods was all established shit that you weren't making up and wasn't being brought out by your brain. But then eventually it's, you all make it, you get up, you go out, you leave, and they're like, someone always has to die. So like at the very end of it, Dr. Hill's like drinking coffee, and like the water that they get poisoned with is like dripping from the ceiling. So when she's not paying attention, she like putters his cup into it, and then that's what eventually kills him.
That actually was a cool.
That was a fucking awesome moment. I was like, you need to do that thing, and then the movie did it, and I was really happy. But then he's the one that dies, and then like they're released because like he was basically, imagine if a guy was using Silent Hill to turn people into monsters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it was. So then they went out, like they found out that their sister had succumbed to this, and like they became better because of it, and like had a better bond. It is genuinely a decent to good horror movie if you do not think of it as a direct adaptation of Until Dawn. I'm giving you the big time Cliff Notes version. There's some actually super funny moments. The horror is very well done. Very well done.
And I'm pretty sure most of it was like practical effects too.
Oh, absolutely. I would imagine. And like a lot of these actors, they're not big names, but they all do fantastic. But yeah, it's just a very weird adaptation that it's looked like it's going to make its money back, because it only made like $50 million. It's just, it felt like they went, all right, we got Wendigos, Dr. Hill. What's that mountain of cocaine doing here? Who said Silent Hill? And then they made the movie. So it's like, but I read a budget of 15 and it made 19 on the opening night. That's what I read from their site. But it is what it is. Yeah, it like anyone honestly go see it. If you do not go into it thinking, I need to have you're gonna like it, honestly, in my opinion. It was a pretty decent horror movie.
Fairly decent. All right.
Now something we can have a little bit more of a discussion on, because now I don't know what to think of this last episode. Last of Us Season 2, Episode 3.
Yeah.
Mike, do you want me to tell you what normally happens in this situation in the game?
Sure. And then I'll kind of give my thoughts on the episode.
Okay, so in the game, after Joel dies, it's maybe 2 days later, Ellie leaves. And what happens is, here's the thing also, Ellie and Dina are like specifically a couple.
Yeah.
Like they borderline almost have sex when Joel is about to die. They are a couple. And then when Joel dies, it cuts clean to Ellie at his grave, and then Dina next to her going, "Hey, we'll leave when you want to." They're going to go there that day, like maybe 3 days later. Yeah, I don't mind the slow burn. I'm not against anything like that, Pringle. I'm just explaining. And then they do the whole tour of Joel's house. There was no meeting. There was no nothing. There was none of that stuff.
Completely different. Completely accurate.
Yeah. the stuff in the house is pretty similar. Like she
The
does.
stuff in the house is similar, yeah.
Yeah, she takes his gun. She sniffs the jacket.
They got the carving in there
Yeah.
that he was making. Yeah.
If anyone does not think that Bella Ramsey is pulling off Ellie at this point, just stop watching the show because you don't actually want Ellie because she just is Ellie. Her mannerisms, everything. And then down in the basement, like, you find out that Tommy had left already. Tommy went, fuck it, and he's gone. He's just out of here. Because they have this discussion a previous night, like after this happened, and they have the discussion saying, if this happened to you, Tommy would have been halfway to fucking Seattle already. And then she's like, but we have to wait and get the okay. He was basically saying, no, you don't go, I will. And then he lied to her and he left. And then she went to go to the house and do all that. Mm-hmm. Then they come back down and Maria is waiting with Dina like, oh shit, mom caught us. And then they come down and then she's like, you guys are going to need, you're going to need supplies. You're going to need whatever. We're going to give you the horse. We're going to do this. And you go on your way. And you go ahead before I say what we can discuss, what we liked and didn't like that, but go ahead.
Really, I think compared to how it plays in the game, something that I really liked about the show is that they take the time to really focus on the rest of the community,
Jackson,
and how they and how like they're responding to everything that went down. Because another thing that was added for the show was the siege from the previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more at stake for, like Umbran said, there's a lot more world building in the series that the game just, not necessarily they can't do, but it's such a more intimate experience, at least from what you guys have described.
Yeah.
Fiona, I gotta ask,
experience.
Were you a little weirded out that they had like a fully just operating normal day hospital there?
I was a little bit like, okay, where are we again? Like, yeah, it was just like fully operational, like no, it was odd to say the least.
Because like 2 years or like maybe 6 months before they got to Jackson in the first game, they barely had power.
They had like no power. This was a full operational hospital with like electricity and everything. It just seemed like super, like, I don't know. Yeah, that was a little strange.
It was different. I was not expecting it, so I wasn't against it. It just took me, I'm like, whoa, hold on. We have like hospital beds and like functioning AQG meters. Like, what? Well, okay. But did you guys watch the bits at the end of the show? Well, I mean, having an influx of survivors. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Here, one thing I can honest to God appreciate that they did in the show versus the game, because this character gets one scene and then does nothing. I like that they gave more stuff to Seth.
Yeah.
Like he genuinely felt bad for him having his last interaction with Joel be him bashing Ellie for a really stupid reason.
Yeah.
And then he turns out to be like their biggest cheerleader.
Absolutely. Like he's helping them out. He's giving her a better rifle.
But how fucking insidious is that though? Because it's like the guy that we were all being weirded out by in the previous, like in episode 1, is now the guy that like the entirety of the audience is going like, yeah, we kind of agree with him. I mean, come on, producers, Like,
well, he's gonna be agreeing with the thing that I say agree with on. Is that if anyone was going to be like, y'all are a bunch of fucking cowards and being the openly honest person, it would have been the guy who got drunk and be honest.
Yeah, he would have been that person. But what I mean is that like it's so like it's not insidious in like, I don't mean that like they're evil or whatever for doing it, but I just mean that like it's something that is so
awkward.
Sly. I mean, I always think it's interesting.
it is interesting. It's just that it'll be weird to see because they're having people's intentions be a little different. Getting to see how some of these characters react after they do their fuck ups aren't things that were allowed in the game. So seeing them go, yeah, that was really dumb that I did that the other night.
I also like seeing Hiro Kanagawa in this, by the way. Mr. Nutscracker himself was in this.
Yeah.
So, it was good to see him. He's one of those actors. He pops up everywhere, and I just really enjoy seeing that guy. But yeah, I mean, like, it is interesting to me, though, that, like, Seth has become the guy that's, like, he's backing Ellie and everything. Like, he's giving them, he's giving them supplies and trading guns with her. I mean, it's just,
Yeah. It's cool to, and like the vote knows and all that. It was something like having Jesse be like an elder that makes decisions now. Basically, I would assume taking what Joel's spot was. That was interesting because Jesse in the game is very much a guy like, I have patrol routes, I do this and that. He's very much a guy who, like, Joel is getting ready to be like, when I'm done, you're doing this. I'm not weirded out by, but it's weird to me, and I'm wondering how long they're going to make this last, because there's an awkward moment where a thing, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil it for Mike, but there is a moment where something happens with Dina that makes it very awkward for her because of the fact that she's in a relationship with Ellie. And a very strong relationship with Ellie for a while in the context of the game. So them kind of tiptoeing them into being official is weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they're doing because they're taking the slow route. So it's going to be, they're probably going to do at least, like I said, they're going to do 2 seasons for this game. So
I'm so curious to see how they handle it, because you can't really copy the game structure.
No, and I think that's going to be a good thing because they'll be able to intertwine the days. They'll be able to make the days be like they're almost missed each other. And I didn't even clear up the bit during the tent scene. Yeah, I kind of thought during the tent scene they were going to have the scene that they had in Eugene's basement in the game.
Yeah.
I actually have seen that clip before.
Yeah, the scene where she makes the joke about her being infected, or like she's open and honest with her about being infected, and Dina thinks she's joking. So I thought that's what they were going to do, but they didn't. And like they got to the point of where you're in Seattle, and that's like that open area looks really cool. It's interesting that they bury everyone out of the town by like 10 miles because they were buried in town, which that's a different detail, which I think is kind of whatever. It's kind of cool. Not for it or against it, but yeah, it's Dina having the road. I really love what they're doing with Dina for the most part, personality wise. Coming into her, making her so much closer with Joel, where she comes in like, okay, you need to have boots. I have the route planned. What do you want to do for ammunition? We are fucking killing them. What are we doing?
Yeah, because she's very like, let's go and do this. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the game, she's just kind of like, Ellie, what you do, I'm doing. You stay here. I don't care. I'm just supporting you with whatever you do. And this one, she's like, no, we're fucking dead.
And she's also Ellie's like, she's the check, she's the checkpoint for Ellie. Like, Ellie's going to go off the deep end. She's the one who checks her.
Yeah. Casting Isabella Merced was a fucking stroke of genius.
Oh, yeah.
Am I
genius
missing something?
casting.
Do you think deep down Abby hates herself for creating another her? Oh, Pringle, have you played the game? Because if you play the game, you answer that question for yourself later on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm just curious how Caitlin Deaver is going to portray that. Like,
oh, they're doing it already. Like the thing that you saw in the hallway where she's talking to herself, Mike, is okay. And one thing that I like that they did kind of here is Ellie is openly lying about situations that, like, remember how I thought it was weird how they didn't have a moment that they predicted in a thing, and then Ellie said, no, I didn't talk to him?
That's a
And
lie.
she's and then she goes, no, she lied to me. She talked to him, obviously. But in Ellie's campaign, every time you have a break, she has a flashback to very important parts of her trust issues and her recovery with Joel. In Abby's, you have her trust issues with her friends, and then her figuring out that she made some royal fuck-ups because of her obsession with Joel. And then every time at the end of her thing, she walks through a hallway at the end going towards when she finds her dad dead. And there's different parts going throughout it. And like when she finally gets it, it's like an actual peace, serene scene where she can see the situation clearly and how she probably should have handled all this differently. They did that in the episode already where she's talking to herself in that hallway. So those sequences from the game are in there already.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like Nora much in the game, but I like her. She hasn't done much in the game yet, or in the show yet. But yeah, I also like how they're just like, hey, get the girl from Intergalactic in here. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
Of course, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. This is a very slow burn version of what they're gonna get, so it's yeah. Part of me, someone mentioned it before, that they didn't make Abby's muscle a big thing on purpose. I'm wondering if, for moments later on, I'm specifically talking about like the last part before the ending chunk of the game, Kiona, that they're making them more evenly physically similar on purpose.
Yes.
Oh, you mean similar between like Ellie and Abby?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that. Yeah.
Because in the game, you're like, if they get in a straight up fist fight without a gun, like Abby, like Ellie's dead.
Yeah.
Because Abby looks like Brock Lesnar and she's military trained. So, like, in a straight up fight,
she handles even more like Joel, you know? Like,
yeah, absolutely. So,
yeah.
I think that, yeah, it's, could go very differently. Yeah, I have a giant feeling that near the end, the ending's going to be handled differently.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Which is
too.
the biggest contender point for basically everyone who played that game. So yeah, we'll see. I'm
see what they do.
Yeah, it'll be cool. All right, that was enough of me wanting to babble about that. That's cool that we can actually have that as a constant thing in the podcast, like a normal talking thing. But okay, all right. On to a thing we were interested in, on to a bunch of crying babies. Some Academy Award members simply press play on the app to satisfy the system's viewing requirement, then mute the audio or switch tabs. The app only needs to see that you watched it, says one voter. It doesn't know if you're sitting there. Give me your fucking job!
Like, seriously.
You can't watch movies for a living?! What are we doing here? How hard is this? What the actual fuck?
Why are they even in the Academy to begin with if they're not going to watch the movies? What do you want to vote then?
Honest question here, because I don't know. At the end, it's maybe a grand total of like 12 movies. What is the fucking pool of movies they actually have to watch through, like in preparation for this? Because I could nail out what their workload looks like in a fucking weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Well, the thing is, if we're just talking about watching the actual nominees, it'll probably be like somewhere between like 20 and 30 movies.
Okay, sorry. A week. A week.
But if we're talking about the nomination process, that's like 200 to 300 movies released in any given year.
What do these acting members of the thing do for their lives otherwise?
I mean,
honest question.
That depends on who these Academy members are, because most of them are either working professionals or or they're retired.
So, person who does this professionally for their job, or someone that has a metric fuck ton of time on their hands. Am I wrong?
No, I agree. Especially if you're one of the younger Academy members and you're still actively
My boat,
involved.
My island, yeah, no shit.
Like, especially if you're one of the younger members of the Academy and you're still actively involved in the film industry, it would help to actually watch the movies so that you're a more informed voice in the industry.
Fucking shocking. On to something slightly less stupid. Warner Brothers announces rowdy screenings of the Minecraft movie with Block Party Edition. The screenings will embrace fans in singing and memeing along to their favorite moments. Yay for the theater attendants that pick up the fucking popcorn.
I am praying for the souls of everyone who has to work those nights.
Here, and
they need to have like hazard pay, Jesus.
I want an
Yeah, for
apology,
real.
and I want it now. I'm one of these people. Everyone that fucking bitches about people during Marvel movies that get excited for cameos and do whatever and like get hyped for moments that they like seeing that mimic the comics. Do you know what we do during those moments? We talk a little, maybe get a little rowdy, maybe clap. We don't trash the fucking theater.
Or bring a live chicken.
But yet none of these people are bitching at these Minecraft viewers like us. Because they're not all children. There's grown fucking adults doing this shit. Do this shit at home if you're gonna be a trash magnet. I've seen videos on TikTok of actual theater concessions, like people walking out saying they will beat someone's ass if they see them throw popcorn, and I would assist them. I don't care if you're 12 years old. I will punch you through that fucking screen. Get your parents to put you in check.
And here's the worst part. Like, there was some interview that came out where the director was like, I don't see what the problem is. Why call the cops for throwing popcorn?
Because you're not cleaning it up, dickbag.
Luckily, Jack Black is awesome, and he went to one of these screenings and being like, hey, kids, don't be a dick.
Shocking. When Jack Black is the regular voice of reason in your situation, maybe you should rethink your choices. Just a thought. When Jack Black is being the sane one, maybe you should just stop.
Yeah.
Good lord.
This is honestly worse than Gentle Minions, because I feel like for the most part, there's a few rowdy screenings, but they were like the outliers. This is just...
Yeah, this is like kind of unprecedented.
Kind of?
I mean, it's not quite as bad as, I think there was one screening of like a movie in India where firecrackers went off.
What was that? Avengers Endgame? What?
I don't. It might have been, but
Well,
that was wild.
People are complaining less about finding sex toys and cucumbers with condoms on them for the fucking what were they called? Sex the movie. What were they?
Oh, the 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. They're complaining less about that than this fucking popcorn. When Jack Black and sex fiends think that you guys are worse off.
Sex the movie.
Am I wrong?
No.
It's more like bad sex the movie. Anyway.
Here's the thing. Now I never thought I'd get to talk about 50 Shades of Grey, so we're gonna bring it up. Someone brought this rule up, and I don't remember what it is, and I talked about it with my ex, and she was not able to correct me. The stuff that they do in that movie, or they talk about in that book, you're only letting do to you because he's rich. And someone brought up this rule of thumb, and I'm going to use it from now on. If this guy offers to do something to do it to you, and you think it's hot, it's for money. And the ruling to figure it out is, if Danny DeVito wanted to do the same thing to you, would you think it's attractive?
Well, I mean, that depends.
Well, I mean, it's a whole.
I'm kidding.
It's a whole. That movie is not an accurate representation of anything regarding that whole subject.
I get that, but people thought it was.
Yes, because
that's what's ridiculous.
Yeah, because it was marketed insanely, and people are dumb. Anyway.
Yeah, and people need Twilight fan fiction.
Apparently.
Twilight's already fan fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's Mormon fan fiction.
Bella, were you Loca? Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So, but all right. Hey, remember when they had a full-grown adult imprint on a child in the womb? Yeah. Killer writing on that one. Anyway, so speaking of other things that are intelligent, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos saying releasing movies in theaters is, my God, this is the most professional douchebaggy way of saying this, an outmoded idea for most people, and that Netflix is saving Hollywood. What is the consumer trying to What is the consumer trying to tell us? That they would like to watch movies at home. So then why do you keep canceling everything on your service, Ted?
Yeah.
Not only that, he said this, or this quote came out while Sinners is selling out
theaters.
Not only that, they're selling out screenings during the week.
Yeah.
But no, it's an outmoded.
I've never heard the word outmoded until now. I am 99%
Really?
convinced he made it up.
No, that's a real word.
It's a real word, but nobody ever fucking uses it.
It's such a, I need to be civilized because I own Netflix. You are stretching fucking Stranger Things till those kids are going to have grandchildren. You're the one saying you're saving Hollywood? Really? I'm sure Tom Cruise would have something else to say about saving Hollywood during hard times. Because people were going out of their way to see Top Gun on Netflix. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Going on to something that's not fucking stupid. Will Forte says he's thrilled that Coyote vs. Acme is getting released. I'm going to promote the crap out of it. Just tell me what you want me to do and I'll go. I'll do whatever. I'll go to the top of Mount Everest. I'll go there.
Let's send him to the top of Mount Everest then.
God, I love Will Forte.
Well, I'm one of the few people that fucking love the MacGruber movie. That whole scene where he recruits all those WWE wrestlers and then they fucking explode in that van. And then the scene at the end, it's one of my favorite just dumb acting moments by Val Kilmer, where Val Kilmer's the main villain in that movie and he's like handcuffed and MacGruber has no fucking idea how to deactivate this bomb. And he's just like, you don't have the codes. You won't be able to do this. And then he's just like, well, what if I pull this wire and I do the thing? He's like, no, weak. He's just like berating him the whole time like an idiot. It's so stupid. Oh. It was like if Val Kilmer got to be a like Hot Shots Part 3 villain, but in that movie. It was really good. All right. On to news that I didn't think I'd get to talk about, but I'm so excited. Billy McFarlane announces that he's selling the Fire Festival brand, trademarks, and social media assets after postponing Fire Festival 2. McFarlane, who served prison time after the 2017 Fire Fest disaster, said the brand needs a larger team to fulfill its potential.
Are you kidding me?
Is anyone going to actually buy it from him?
Ja Rule will.
Oh, jeez.
I I can't fucking. He's like, yeah, they're gonna want this disaster. It's a brand name of a disaster, a literal disaster. And like, we'll get slightly better styrofoam containers for your bad poisonous meals. Just cut your losses and light the whole thing on fire. They did already, and that's what basically the entire freaking festival was. I forgot I put this in the notes. Okay. Normally, you click on that link because I'm not going to show everything. Normally, I would show pictures of things when I'm showing an example. Juicy. Oh, I gotta make sure I get their names right.
I
Juicy
did click on the link, by the way.
Juicy made a 1-to-1 Scott model scale Tifa figure, and the reason why I can only show one picture is because it is anatomically correct.
Yeah.
And I'm going to the thought in my brain, because I saw this and then I messaged my friend and went, you know what's really sad when I saw this picture or I saw this thing? And he's like, what? I looked at the price tag and went, you know what?
The price tag
that's affordable.
No way.
A life-size, I assume cup and S-size accurate Tifa doll that you can pose however you want for $1,800.
Yep.
What are they even doing now?
Pringle, what say you and I? Let's throw some money at it, huh? We'll share the custody. How about that?
And it looks like it has great joints of articulation because I don't even see any
I don't even
creases.
see any joints of articulation.
And like it moves. I've seen poses online. What are we even doing anymore? Like, people thought it was gross when they made the Gardevoir plushie.
Oh, God.
Now we have this.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? You just brought it up right there!
Yes, Umbreon just brought it
We
up.
just mind melded! And I don't even want to know what you fuckers are doing with that Lucario plushie, but I know you people.
Did you see the life-size evolution figure?
Yeah, I did, and I don't want to talk about that either. Because they showed charts, I'm like, why would someone want that? And there's a comment underneath it that most of the evolutions are the most Rule 34 Pokemon in history, and that fucking scares me.
They're life-size. Like, those fuckers are about the size of, like, a German Shepherd.
Yeah, and they're gonna pet it. Moving... Good God. And don't worry, it comes out, its release date is this year. You can add it to your... What's the description? Okay, I'm going to read the description.
Sweet.
I did not see this until I scrolled down. External speaker system. Voice conversation. 18 types of voice control conversation. Intelligent development. 3 character modes. Girl, Chinese. Mature woman, Chinese. European and American woman, English. Touch sensitive areas can produce sounds. Process features. Fully handmade hair transplantation with movable eyeball function. Oh wait, there's more.
Yep.
Introduction to joints. This fucking thing has a metal frame with 34 movable joints. But wait! There's more. Material introduction. Liquid silicone breasts. Soft buttocks. Simulated body makeup. And platinum silicone. But wait.
Platinum silicone. Okay.
There's more.
There's more.
Kind reminder.
Kind reminder.
Manual measurement data may have an error of 1 to 2 centimeters. Avoid high temperature cleaning. Avoid direct sunlight, because that'll be hard for the people buying these. And perform. Consumer reminder. This product is for adults. Minors under 18 years old should not purchase it. Please keep the product out of reach of minors. Dear Jesus, the model they show for the, aromatics of this fucking thing, which has cat ears in the model, BT dub.
Of course it does.
Of course.
Is ridiculous. This fucking thing is... Why is it glistening? And they have to have... There's detailed feet pictures. Why am I in the year of our Lord 2020? I cannot show any of that on screen.
You know what I want. You know what I want. I want the Aerith version, but if you say that, they'll just mail out a corpse in a coffin.
No, what you're gonna get is Sephiroth instead.
Yeah.
And Sephiroth's sword will be an accurate length.
Yeah.
Also his katana. Anyway, moving on.
Also his katana, yes.
So
Well done.
So I'm going to bring up stuff a little bit out of order because I want to end on a somewhat.
Brock, wait, hold on. Before we move on, Brock, did you see that mod for Rebirth where you can actually use Sephiroth as Cloud's sword?
Yes, I did see that.
I love that so
That's amazing.
much.
I
is
did
my
see
favorite
that.
thing of all time.
I've been impaled. Yeah, Aerith, I'm pretty sure. So
pretty sure. Yeah.
we have a social media was a mistake,
Oh,
and I
God.
knew this was going to happen because I hate humans.
Yeah, of course.
Bella Ramsey on deactivating her social media following constant attacks about her as Ellie in The Last of Us. I've always known I'd deactivate it one day. Never even really wanted it to have social media in the first place. If I just avoid Twitter and Reddit, which now I'm doing, then everything's totally fine. I got quite fixated on the way Ellie looks in the game, and I don't look like that. My body type isn't that. It was a challenge for me to let myself off the hook for not looking computer generated.
I forgot to put this in the doc, but there was a clip on Twitter that went around of the scene with Ellie and the therapist in the latest episode. I got so disgusted looking at the quote tweets and the replies that I'm just like, yeah, no, Ellie made Bella made the right choice, just deleting all of their social media, because guys, what the fuck?
Yeah, I repeat, none of you fuckers are complaining about Isabella Merced being cast when she looks nothing like Dina, other than the fact that she's a female. Because you want to have sex with Isabella. Maybe you should check your fucking sex-addicted brains at the door and shut the fuck up. Because if you're talking about acting in the game, Isabella acts less like Dina than Bella acts like Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bella perfectly fucking nails Ellie. The voice tone, how she talks, those are lines that Ellie would say. And people just don't like it because they don't want to have sex with the person controlling Ellie. Who, by the fucking way, is supposed to be a girl you grow up with because she's a fucking teenager in the first game. There's this crazy thing called having a female character and you don't need to want to have sex with them to like them. I know that's odd nowadays, but we could give it a try. I know it's really difficult. Kiona, I'm pretty sure I've had this conversation with you. Had this conversation with you where, she's still 19. Either way, that's fucking... She's meant to be the girl who lost her daughter, lost her father. There's just characters I can't sexualize at all. I just can't. Like Ellie and Aloy are two of them. Like I'm pretty sure I swear to God we've had this conversation before.
Yes.
But it's just no one. I just can't fathom people that don't have characters that they just can't think of in that manner. Like, does everyone like that for you? Because if it is, I feel bad for anyone who's friends with you.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me that you don't think that way about your friends if you can't literally look at a character in a TV show and think they're acting badly because you don't want to fuck them. But
this one is more than just social media was a mistake. I think this is like society was a mistake.
Like humankind was a mistake. To quote Samuel L. Jackson in The Kingsman, mankind is a virus. I've never agreed with a villain in a movie more in my life than I did with Samuel L. Jackson. And you're correct. Mankind is killing the planet, and they're useless. They are.
Yeah, pretty much.
But okay. I've meant to bring this up for several. Oh my gosh, is that really what this is going to do? I'm gonna put the Thanos was right. I'm going to put the link in the description or in the in the description of the video when it goes up. Okay. For those of you that don't know, Mike McFarlane is a producer, voice actor, and director of voice talent that has worked on many shows that you love. A lot of people know him as John Kirstein, Attack on Titan, Buggy the Clown, Master what's his name?
Master Roshi.
Master Roshi in Dragon Ball, and on top of many other stuff. I had the great pleasure of meeting him at Mad X last year. Like, he wasn't a super uppity guy, but not everybody's like that. But he was unbelievably kind to me. Like, asked me what I wanted to know, like anything about the Attack on Titan, do all that, and he was just an unbelievably kind person. Just a sweet soul that you could tell loved doing what he wanted and loved interacting with people that he got to help bring stuff forward for. A few months ago, or it might have been longer than that, Mike had brain surgery to remove a tumor. And he had a GoFundMe to like get a live-in made so we can figure out stuff and like make sure everything. And the surgery to remove the brain tumor went fantastic. And like I've seen that he's actually signed up for a con in the near future, like a couple of months out from now. So like he's on the mend and he's doing fantastic. But he's going to be needing to go in for another secondary surgery because I guess there is some infections that they're kind of having trouble nipping in the bud there. So I know that I'm probably the only one that is, if they are like that actively religious out of this group. So I'm not going to say that everyone has to, but anyone that watches this that is that, or just thoughts, prayers, anything, just either donate to Mike's cause, keep him in your thoughts, prayers if you believe in it. Just, he's an unbelievably great person that has helped so many people in the voice acting community and in the voice acting space and brought so much good for all of us that watch this type of stuff. Kind words, donations, anything, send it that way because the dude needs it and he's an unbelievably kind guy. Just please. It's very few times that I actually see people rallying around a good cause like this for Mike. Just please support him. The dude needs it, and it'd be nice to actually see social media do some good for once.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I will
put like the don't get me wrong, the GoFundMe's done fucking fantastic, but I don't even want to know with the American hospital system how much extra bills could come up with more surgeries than they were expecting. So even if it's a freaking dollar or something, I don't wish regular surgery on people, let alone fucking brain surgery post-op for a fucking tumor. But anyway, that's all that I had. So anyone's got anything else that they want to bring up?
Well, not so much bring up. This is just a random thing that I'm doing this weekend. So I'm recording a new episode of Laycraft, and we're doing the Korean Batman movie.
Ooh.
which by the way, while my co-host is taking,
I'm confusingly aroused right now.
okay, so but I will give some context. I don't think the world wants us to reveal this because while my co-host was getting notes from like Wikipedia or like the wiki or whatever, like midway through it, the article got deleted. Like the world wants this.
Oh shit.
Let me just do a Korean Batman just to show. Oh, and here's the best part of it. It's like partially lost media, and the only way that the most readily available version of it is an edited Spanish dub that I found with English subtitles.
Oh dear God.
All right, let me just get the picture of Korean Batman.
This sounds like I was trying to watch. That's a statement I never thought I'd hear someone say. This this sounds like when I was trying to watch the live action Attack on Titan movies with my roommate. Which I had to buy the second one to watch the second one. They have the first one on Amazon, and the second one only available in Japan on Amazon.
All right, so this is a screenshot, an actual screenshot of it.
I'm
so curious.
All right,
it's gonna be a man in a bat costume.
Oh, it's even better. Like when you see this, it's gonna be amusing. Why are you not downloading? All right, are we gonna go now? Okay, there we go. All right, and of course you're gonna flip it. Trust me, this is gonna be all worth it. All right, quick action image, JPEG, good enough.
Is this South Korean or North Korean Batman? I need specifics. Oh my lord!
Wow. Okay, that's worse than I thought it would be.
That is
wow.
That is Zoren Batman. Wow. I thought it was going to be live
Batman
action.
of Zoren R.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I said it wrong. Okay. First of all, I thought you meant live action.
I thought
this
live
came up
as well.
All right. And then where's the poster for it? Let me just.
Were they not allowed to do? Okay.
Oh wow.
that is something.
That is
And by the way, they rip off a Japanese hero name because he's called Golden Bat.
Why is Batman fighting fighter jets? Why does he have an actual watch on?
Was this part of Batman Inc.? Was this Grant Morrison's idea the whole time?
Why is there a dog with a megaphone at the bottom?
I don't know. I'll find out Saturday.
Why is he talking to a seaweed ghost with a top hat? Why are they in the middle of Big O? What is this movie?
Big O. Yeah.
I just figured it'd have a little bit.
Why is Space Ghost discount cousin on the bottom? What?
So the movie is called Black Star and the Golden Bat.
Sure. He fights America. Pringle.
Dear God. What? I am so. What the fuck?
But yeah, the original theatrical version, like the original Korean one, apparently it's like super hard to find. So like,
can't imagine why.
But there's like an edited like Spanish dub. For whatever reason, it's missing like 11 minutes. So the version we're watching is like 59 minutes. So
why is this emblem on his chest Hulk Hogan's mustache and hair in one emblem?
Don't know.
I'm so confused. I'm so lost. He has an actual watch on. I don't know why that's bugging me so much, but he has an actual watch on for some reason. Yeah. What is... I
just thought you'd appreciate that.
I don't know what I am about this.
That might be the greatest thing I've ever seen. Finally, a Batman we can believe in.
You know, this is what Schumacher's sequel would have been.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Batman Triumphant. This is it, right?
You know what this would be? What the fuck was that? Was it Spider-Man that James Cameron was going to make super weird?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That would be this, but with
Oh,
Batman.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
This is the Spider-Man turn off the dark Batman.
Yeah. What the actual hell are we doing? All right, we are getting out. We're getting out of here. I don't know how to process that.
That was it. That was the end of. That was the end.
Yeah, that was something. What the fuck? All right. That was that was a thing. Bree, where can everybody find you?
You can find me most places if you want at crazylemur.bsky social. I'm also on Instagram at Lemurs Rule 1, and I exist on the internet. Hopefully, said Korean Batman episode will be out in the next week or so. I'm still trying. What the fuck, Mike? Go ahead.
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Renegade Pop Culture. You can also find us here on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You can escape, so do we.
Absolutely. Kiana?
You can find me on Instagram and Threads at Neoplasmic81, on Twitter at Neoplasmic24, and also on Blue Sky and Twitch at Neoplasmic.
You can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube, which I'm getting back into gaming streams more. This one's going to be a little wacky because we had to move the podcast today. This is not a promise, but if I am able to secure one of the collector's editions when the pre-orders go up on Friday, I will be giving away a digital deluxe edition of Ghosts of Yotei on my stream when it comes out at midnight. Nice. If I could get a hold of one, I will give away the code. But if you're into any into cosplays and such like that, you can head over to my Instagram at Organoid Zero. I just got a cool thing commissioned that's an upgrade for my Nero cosplay, so I'm pretty fucking pumped. Nice. And then the Athletic Geek 89 over on his YouTube channel, my buddy Eli and me, the Geeking Out podcast, where we just talk about one thing for an hour and then go nuts. Our last thing was us talking about WrestleMania, so that was a fun time. All right, until next time, we will see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.